Blitz Live with your host, Brett Pritchard, Luke Robinson, and Randy Lee. Call 800-782-0108. Auburn.
45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back.
Alabama.
38 pounds and 80 yards.
And the latest in high school sports.
Yes, he is. Touchdown.
It's Sportz Blitz Live now. Brought to you by S&S Discount Tire and JR's Sports Bar and Grill.
Welcome into Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. I'm Randy Lee alongside my good friend Luke Robinson. And yes, you can look at his colors. He's a Bammer over there, so this past weekend didn't upset him all that much. I am an Auburn fan, and it was tough on me, and we're going to start the program tonight. But we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any comments throughout the 2-hour program, 800-782-0108 or 256-234-6464 here locally. We got high school football in the second round, and Luke and I on this program, we can both agree on that. We love high school football, and we love it throughout the state of Alabama because it filters directly into both of our college programs. But we can't agree on our college teams. But Luke, a couple of weeks ago, my dad came in on Monday morning. He said, everything's perfect. Auburn played the best game I've seen them play in a long time. We beat LSU 41-7, and Alabama lost. And now I think a lot of Alabama fans said the same thing after this past weekend.
I'm going to be honest. I went to Baton Rouge this past weekend, and going into the game, I was pretty popular for once in my life because I was able to check most quickly on my phone what the score in the Auburn game was. And everybody, I had some people kind of huddled around me as we were going up the escalator, and they'd say, what is it, what is it? And it kept refreshing these weird things, like it'd say Auburn ball, no A&M ball, no Auburn ball. And I was like, I think whoever's doing this, something's broken. Little did I know what was actually going on. But by the end of the game, everybody, LSU fans, Alabama fans, were so happy that Auburn lost. I mean, I think for at least till midway through the first quarter, everybody's like, we don't care what goes on here. We feel so much better that Auburn lost that we don't have to worry about it. Now, I mean, as the game went on, obviously, people started worrying about the Alabama-LSU game a little bit more. But just for that brief moment in time, look, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings near LSU's campus when Texas A&M blocked that kick and returned it. The place exploded. And Alabama fans, LSU fans, didn't matter who was in there. I mean, they lost their collective minds when that happened.
Well, let me say this, and I think you and I can both agree with this, but Auburn fans and Alabama fans don't like to admit it. But, yes, we love to see our teams win, but I think that we almost relish in the fact that the other team struggles as much as we like to. I think you just said that, but I'll agree with it. I mean, I hear so many, or I read so many tweets out there, why are you Auburn fans talking so much about Alabama, and vice versa? Why are you Alabama fans worried so much about Auburn? Because it's fun.
I agree.
I like seeing you struggle.
There's no question about it. I mean, just for a brief moment in time, the other side has to shut up.
I know.
I mean, I don't really like talking smack about because I've learned my lesson. I mean, I'm not going to do that because it usually comes back to bite you. So last year before the Iron Bowl, I didn't say Alabama's definitely going to win. I mean, I ended up picking Alabama to win because you got to pick one of them. And I was going to pick Alabama. I'll probably pick Alabama this year. But I don't like to talk a lot of smack because it always comes back to haunt you. But when you see Auburn lose, and the way Auburn lost was such a beautiful thing if you're an Alabama fan, because you've been waiting on that to happen because you really started losing faith in religion almost. Like, how do they keep getting the good breaks every single week? I mean, I understand they got a good coach, they've got good talent, and they get every break. I mean, it just didn't seem fair for a while. And so to see it happen the way it happened was probably better than it actually happening.
I'm going to steal a statement from our good friend Andy Graham that he used on Sports Call this afternoon, and Justin Clayton was in the other room and started laughing. If there was ever a game that Auburn lost that felt like a good, swift kick to the groin, it was this one this past Saturday, because all you could do was just shake your head. There was nothing else you could say about it.
Totally agree. And here's what's interesting, and we need to get into this a little bit later on. There is a way, obviously, that Auburn can still get to Atlanta, still win the SEC. And my question is, would you put them in the playoff then? Because I'm going to tell you, you lose to a 24.5-point underdog, a team that lost 59-0 to Alabama. It's kind of hard to say you belong in the top 4 in the country.
I don't know, though. I would say that if it was vice versa, if it was Alabama, and you went on and you won the SEC championship and you beat 2 top 4 ranked teams, I don't think anybody would argue that Alabama and Mississippi State are top 4 ranked teams in the country. And I think they're I think of they're 2 of the 4 best teams in the country. They may beat up each other, but I don't care how it plays out. Y'all can throw Oregon in there. You can throw TCU in there. You can throw any other team that you want to sling in there. I still think Mississippi State and Alabama is 2 of the top 4 teams.
I agree.
And if Auburn is able to beat Alabama to close the season out and beat a very good Georgia team and somehow go and win the SEC, I'm not asking for it. I mean, I'm not sitting here begging like I was in 2004 when we went undefeated. But crazier things could happen.
But how do you put them in over an Ohio State team that, yes, they lost to Virginia Tech, a bad Virginia Tech team, but that was their second game with a brand new quarterback, the quarterback they didn't think they were going to have, and now Ohio State's got it together. That's what's interesting.
I don't think they will. But,
I agree.
But we'll talk more about that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good to hear
James.
from you.
This is James.
We love it when you call, James.
Luke, yeah.
I bet you're in a good mood, James.
I talked to you and Brett last. Where is Freddie?
Brett did sports call this afternoon, so he's had his take of talking about Auburn for a couple hours.
But James, here's the thing that is great. I will give you Brett's cell phone number during the commercial break, and I'll let you talk to him. How about that?
No, but my point is, normally after Auburn lost, I would go in the back room, don't want to watch no news or nothing on TV. But you know what? After this loss, I had them prepared myself so well that it didn't bother me as much like a normal loss would, even though how they lost. It didn't bother me because I done prepared myself. That's just like a girlfriend, ain't doing you right, but you hoping, and eventually you prepare yourself when she leaves. So when Auburn lost, I was prepared I was okay. See, and then we get to talking about two lost Auburn teams, they beat Georgia and Alabama. Well, me personally, like I said, it ain't about Auburn or Alabama now. It's about the SEC because of the people going against us. Alabama is our best chance to win the championship, to be honest with you. If they stop making the quarterback do so many things. If they just settle him down and let him do some things, then they can go back to being the old Alabama way. But they are the best chance the SEC got in this playoff because anybody else goes, we're gonna lose. They're gonna lose by 2 touchdowns. So that's my take on that. Now my question to you guys, we can fix this defense or whatever. I'm about to think that Ellis Johnson don't know how to defend the spread, or we just don't have. I said we just don't have defensive smart defensive back. But I'm gonna leave Auburn alone. Like I said, I done been hopping on Auburn and being critical because I always say this here. I can't talk about Florida and Will Muschamp. I can't talk about Georgia and Mark Frick if I can't criticize my own team. So I got 2 questions. If Baylor and TCU finish out, what you think the committee gonna do? I'm a head-to-head guy. I beat you, I should get in. And the second question is this here. I'm gonna hang up and listen. If that guy, I'm not saying Jameis Winston shaved points, but if a guy in college at UAB and he put $5,000 down on a first half of a game, do you know what kind of kahunas you have to say that this team gonna be losing the first half of a game, and I'm in college, and I'm gonna put $5,000 down? But anyway, Alabama, when I'll answer that, and then I'm gonna say this last thing, and I'm gonna go. Now, Luke, I know we just said that people was not cheering for Auburn. When Alabama was down, I'm telling you, because Auburn had lost, And I was afraid we probably wouldn't get no SEC team in if LSU beat Alabama and Alabama beat Mississippi State. I started rooting for Alabama to come back and beat LSU because, at least for right now, I don't care who wins the championship in the SEC. I want Auburn to win it, but if they think I want one of the SEC teams to go to the playoff and win it, and Alabama's out there chance. Talk to me about James Winston, and I hang up and listen.
We will, James. We got another phone call to get to, and we're going to get that first, but we will come back to everything you said, and it was mighty kind of you to still root for Alabama. We certainly appreciate that. You may have pulled us through.
I didn't. Don't worry. I was not cheering.
Randy took up your slack.
I was not cheering for y'all on Saturday night. Back to the phone lines. Kamari and Montgomery, you're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good to hear from you, buddy.
Good to hear from y'all. Good to talk to y'all. I was just going to make a comment about the games last weekend. Obviously, Auburn really struggles defensively, and that's been their big bugaboo the last 2 years. And finally, their offense wasn't able to come through in the clutch like they have been the last 2 years. And I think it was just that particular time, it was that particular moment, because two fumbles like that at the end of the game, I mean, they weren't going to win that game. I mean, it was one of those things. They were down 35-17 at halftime. You know, they had their chances in the fourth quarter, and they just couldn't pull it out. But I got to tell you, as far as the Alabama game is concerned, Blake Sims was very impressive on that last drive. I mean, when they needed to play, it like most people were saying, it reminded me of 2010 with A.J. McCarron going down that final drive. So, I mean, Alabama got a big win. It was a big win for them, and it was a big win for the SEC. But to answer your question earlier about the two-loss Auburn team, I think it's very hard for a two-loss team from any conference to get into the playoff. I just think there'll be too many one-loss teams, or even a Mississippi State or Florida State still being undefeated for a two-loss team to get in. But what I was really most surprised with was Oregon jumping Florida State after this last week, and then also Arizona State jumping up as high as they did, because many people have been talking about Notre Dame and how the fact that they only had that loss to Florida State, people weren't that high on Notre Dame. So the fact that Arizona State won that game and their loss was at home to a UCLA team that beat them 62-27, most people were. I think I was shocked to see Arizona State up to 6 and Baylor at 7, because they beat TCU, and TCU's in the final top 4 right now.
Thank you, Kamari. We'll talk about all of that for sure. Yeah, Oregon, I don't know if you saw it, Oregon did jump Florida State, and I'm really okay with that. And what does it matter? I mean, it's either 2-3 or 3-2. I mean, it doesn't matter. So I think the thing about Florida State is everybody outside of Tallahassee wants them to lose, wants them to go down. Look, I probably speak for a lot of Alabama fans here. It's going to take a lot to move Cam Newton out of the number one most hated quarterback of all time. And Jameis Winston's done it, and Alabama hadn't even played it.
That's for you Bammers.
I'm just telling you.
Don't put Cam Newton in Jameis.
No,
Winston.
I'm just saying from Alabama's perspective.
Alabama's
Yeah, and I mean, it was going to take
the rest of the country hates Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think the rest of the country despised Cam Newton anywhere near like they did Winston.
No, I don't think it's anywhere near that. I think,
I was going to clean up what you said.
But I think that to bump him out of the spot for Alabama fans,
that's saying something.
That's saying something because, and look, I go back to James' point about the point shaving allegations, and it's funny because the name Chris Rabb, I think we called him in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, and he was a pretty doggone good linebacker.
I had him he played defensive line, a defensive tackle position. He moved to linebacker when he went to UAB, but he was one of those that Jeff Sentell just raved about.
He made every tackle.
Because his tackle behind the line of scrimmage was unreal at Hueytown High School, and so he was the one that if you talked about Jameis Winston offensively when you covered Hueytown, you talked about Chris Rabb equally as much on the defensive side because nobody could block him. He didn't weigh but about 225, and he played nose tackle. But you'd look up and he'd have 6 or 7 tackles behind the line of scrimmage by the end of the game. Let's quickly go to a break, Luke. There's so much to talk about with these phone calls we've seen so far, but we'll take more as we come back. 800-782-0108. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
On Tap is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com. Advanced Heating and Air is East Central Alabama's certified train comfort specialist. That means the pros at Advanced make you the focus with superior service on all brands, 24-hour availability, and in most cases, same-day response. Advanced Heating and Air is exclusive with Train Heating and Air products that deliver the longest reliability and great energy efficiency with an amazing 0% 60-month financing package on all new Train products. The best service contacts in the region, and all pricing is upfront so you have no surprises. Advanced Heating and Air, where your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heating and Air is East Central Alabama's certified train comfort specialist. That means the pros at Advanced make you the focus with superior service on all brands, 24-hour availability, and in most cases, same-day response. Advanced Heating and Air is exclusive with Train Heating and Air products that deliver the longest reliability and great energy efficiency with an amazing 0% 60-month financing package on all new Train products. The best service contacts in the region, and all pricing is upfront so you have no surprises. Advanced Heating and Air, where your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heating and Air is East Central Alabama's certified train comfort specialist. That means the pros at Advanced make you the focus with superior service on all brands, 24-hour availability, and in most cases, same-day response. Advanced Heating and Air is exclusive with Train Heating and Air products that deliver the longest reliability and great energy efficiency with an amazing 0% 60-month financing package on all new Train products. The best service contacts in the region, and all pricing is upfront so you have no surprises. Advanced Heating and Air, where your comfort is our #1 concern. The communities of Auburn and Opelika are proud to be hosting the Alabama High School State Football Championships this December. Sponsored by the Auburn-Opelika Tourism Bureau, Auburn University Athletics, the cities of Auburn and Opelika, and Uncle Bob's Self Storage. This year's Super 7 will be at beautiful Jordan-Hare Stadium December 3rd through the 5th. Log on to aotourism.com/Super7 today to make hotel reservations, buy tickets to the games, and find out everything you need to know about the best high school football Alabama has to offer.
Over the years, S&S Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Ellick City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Lake Winds Golf Course, the most affordable, quality round of golf in Central Alabama. Located right off Highway 280 on County Road 40 in Alexander City, Lake Winds Golf Course offers affordable memberships, an updated pro shop, junior golf program, annual tournaments, and weekly matches. Call for your tee time today, 256-825-9860. Lake Winds Golf Course.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. We'll take your phone calls the remainder of the program, another hour and a half left. 800-782-0108 or 256-234-6464. Do have one big guest tonight. Good friend of the program, great football player here at Benjamin Russell High School, Justin Kraft. He moved on, played at UAB, and currently he's drumming up the bushes. You know, he's beating the bushes and trying to get some people behind in the Birmingham area this UAB football program when it at least looks up in the air what their decision is or what their plans for the future is, Luke.
Yeah, he might need to call the bushes to get some financial backing to keep UAB going. It's going to be, look, I'm looking forward to talking to him about this because it's one of those issues that's out there, and it's not going to get a lot of play right now. I mean, Alabama and Auburn are too good, and they've got too much going on for UAB to get a lot of focus on this. But we're on the verge of UAB possibly not having a football program anymore, and that's a pretty big deal.
It definitely is, and we'll talk with Justin about that. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Didn't in the first segment, definitely want to mention it here. Happy Veterans Day, and thankful to all of you out there that have served. I'll throw a veteran in my family. My grandfather's 89 years old and served in World War II, and so I know a lot of you out there. I've got family members that have been over and currently family members that are part of the military, and we're so lucky to be up here and sit and kind of say snide comments back and forth about something as mundane as football that we care a lot about, we love it, but it's not very important when you put it in the real world scheme. So thanks to all our great veterans out there. We've had a lot of phone calls so far. Let's go back on and talk about James. James, a great caller. James brought up Baylor and TCU. They played head-to-head. Baylor wins. How in the world do you put TCU in front of them?
Okay, I think the way you put TCU in front of them is the fact that Baylor's strength of schedule is 128th out of 128th. I mean, it's something like that. So they've got to schedule better, number one. If you want to take that out, because let's give the Big 12 a little credit, they do play each other. Every team plays each other. Well, they only got 10 teams, so they can do that. But Baylor's got, I know, West Virginia coming up, I believe. No, they lost to West Virginia. They've got Kansas State coming up. They've got Oklahoma State coming up. And they've got somebody else that's not that great. I can't remember off the top of my head. But TCU's schedule coming down the stretch is atrocious. Now, they do play at Texas, who looks a little better after beating West Virginia this past weekend, but it's still not very good at all. I don't even know that they play a team that's going to be going to a bowl. So it's one of those things where Baylor can catch up in this thing, if you ask me. If things keep falling right for Baylor and you get down to where TCU and Baylor are 4-5 or 5-4, the tiebreaker is going to go to Baylor. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think TCU is the better team. I think if they play 10 times, TCU is going to win 8. But Baylor did beat them. That's the bottom line. Baylor beat them. So I feel like that's going to work itself out if they both win out the rest of the way.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Bo and Moody, you're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, what's up, fella?
Good to hear from you,
Bo.
buddy.
How y'all doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm all right, man. I'm just a little upset about our game Saturday.
Yeah, I think you and the rest of the Auburn faithful are upset about what happened Saturday.
Bo, let me ask you this. What upsets you the most about that game, other than obviously just the loss itself, but what in the game upsets you more than anything?
Our defense.
That's a good answer. I mean, you can use that as a very general term because, I mean, what Texas A&M scored on their 4th play of the game, and Auburn just couldn't stop them.
Well, you know, the one stat that really jumps out to me in the game is 5 yards per carry for Texas A&M that hasn't been known for running the football. Auburn has 3 games ago, I think we were allowing less than 100 yards per game running the football. Now Auburn gives up 176 yards rushing to an A&M team that really doesn't have that much on that side of the ball. They did throw for 277 yards, 453 total yards in the ball game. There's not much positive to talk about, Bo.
No, sir. We had 2 fumbles. The one from Reese Dismukes, you know, I can understand that a little bit. But the other one, when Kowaliga Country was supposed to get the ball, I think, and Nick wanted to keep it too, I guess. And it shows that Cap had the ball, and then the Texas A&M guy went down there and grabbed it from him when it should have been down and the ball gave back to us.
Yeah, Bo, I mean, I think you're right. I think Cameron Artis-Payne probably had control of it most of the time. But when you get in a scrum situation, weird things happen. I mean, there's scratching and clawing. You hear, I know on NFL films they always talk about, the old-timers especially talk about eye gouging and biting and this and that. And look, Auburn allowed that to happen. And even forget that. Auburn got the ball back. They got the ball back. They did the defense, give them credit, did exactly what they were supposed to do. And
Yes, sir.
Auburn didn't make it happen. So, again, I've heard a lot of talk about the officiating all over the place, but I mean, this is the same Auburn team, remember, that had 12 men on the field and 5 men in the backfield against Ole Miss, and that wasn't called. So, I mean, it happens. Officials miss calls. It happens all the time.
And I think they missed one there. I'll throw that out
They
there.
did.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm with Randy. Randy. I didn't pull for y'all Saturday night either, man.
I wouldn't expect anything less, Bo.
Yeah, all right, man. God bless y'all.
Thank you,
You
buddy.
too, buddy.
We appreciate your phone call. Up against a break. When we come back, we're going to continue to take your phone calls. Move in, talk a little bit about the second round of high school playoffs. Some of these matchups, Luke, that we'll talk about. To have them or some of these teams as high-ranked as they are to be meeting one another, i.e. Opelika and Saraland, number 2 and number 3 in 6A, meeting one another in the second round of the playoffs. Wow. Crazy how things work out.
How about, speaking of Bo from Moody, I know he's a big Leeds fan, Clark County and Leeds playing in the second round. That's a big game. I mean, there are a lot of big games. Benjamin Russell and Spanish Fort.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the biggest ones.
256-234-6464. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Which hotel is the best value?
Which one do you think I should buy?
Buying a car is a big thing. They cost a lot and you own it for years. You need to compare Hyundai of Auburn for your peace of mind. Discounts, cashback, got them at Hyundai of Auburn, and America's best warranty. Plus, we just received Hyundai's President's Award with the second highest customer satisfaction among like dealerships in the entire country. So if being treated right is important, we'll see you soon. Hyundai of Auburn, you owe it to yourself.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Don't you know there's no queen like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
Let me be all-time quarterback. Okay. Whoa! Calvin Johnson!
What's up, guys?
Is that the new game day filet sandwich?
Sure is.
You want to throw the ball around?
Sure, why not? Gotta love a trick play.
Introducing the new Game Day Filet Sandwich Meal. A crispy chicken breast filet with just the right amount of kick on a lightly toasted bun. Served with crinkle fries and a small Coca-Cola Freestyle drink. Only at Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfits, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So because it's always something, remember Always Money. How much can we loan you today?
Tallapoosa Ford on Highway 280 in Alex City has delivered new Fords for 35 years. Need fuel efficiency with style? See the best selection of 13 Ford Fusions delivering 38 MPG in a new stylish package. Check out the Hybrid C Max crossover now on the lot, offering roomy comfort with an amazing 47 MPG, rating highway and city.
Hello, this is Jeff Smith with Tallapoosa Ford. I'd like to welcome you to our dealership and experience our low-pressure sales. With non-commissioned salespeople, our sales force is here to serve you.
Visit Tallapoosa Ford, Highway 280, Alex City. If we don't have it, we'll get it, guaranteed.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. About an hour and a half left in the program. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Get your prediction in, Alabama, Mississippi State this week. You can find us on all of our social media outlets. You can call in and give us a prediction as well. Dak Prescott passing yards will be the tiebreaker. Back to James' question before we move on. This story on Jameis Winston and Chris Rabb and $5,000 put on the first half, is that the number? I haven't read the whole article. Is that what the deal is?
For those who don't know, there is an allegation out there by a Birmingham bookie that says that Chris Rabb was working in conjunction with Jameis Winston to fix the first half of the Louisville game. And the line was, I think, Florida State -1 or Louisville -1 or whatever it is. And they bet $5,000 that Louisville would win the first half, which they did. And look, I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm really surprised this story hadn't gotten more traction, which tells me maybe it's all kind of fabricated. Maybe it's just a bookie who lost $5,000 and doesn't want to pay it. You know, they say he says he's already paid it. If he has already paid it, then I wonder what's going on with Chris Rabb right now, because if it's known that he's taking bets, I mean, you would think UAB may disqualify him or something, so why isn't that bigger news? The whole thing is odd to me, and it's just another notch in the bedpost of Jameis Winston's weird career.
I think that so many people have had enough of bringing up these stories, and they want to move on, that even if they are relevant or they've got some legs or just tired of talking about it, maybe that's what's going on out there. Back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on Sports Blitz.
Hey, guys, this is Henry from Notisoga. I sure do enjoy y'all's show.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you, I came up all the way up there and got a platter from JR's up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that man hooks up some good bird now. I'm going to tell you, anybody ain't had some of that bird, you need to go over and get some, because the man knows what he's doing when he's frying up chicken now. I just want to say that straight up.
But he'll appreciate 100%. Yeah, he'll appreciate that, Henry.
Well, I know good chicken when I eat it. That's good chicken.
Good deal, buddy.
But I wanted to ask y'all a question. I've lived in this state all my life. I followed college football. I'm not 100% Alabama. I'm not 100% Auburn. And I love to follow both teams, and I pull for both teams. But I just can't enjoy the Auburn radio broadcast. And I can't enjoy the young man, and he's an outstanding athlete, and he does a lot of good things for the University of Auburn football team, and I'm sure he's a good man in the community. But why does it have to be Cameron Artis Payne? Cameron Artis Payne. Why can't it be Cameron Payne or Mr. Payne or 41? I've got three names. But I don't use all three. I'm sure both of y'all got three names. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But how come it just can't be Mr. Payne or 41? I believe that's the young man's number. Or Mr. Artis or... But
the artist formerly known as Payne?
The other night, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna and it was 38 times in the first half, the Auburn broadcast said Cameron Artis Payne. And I mean, if you're as fortunate as myself and got very little to complain about, that's very little to complain about. But especially when you're eating good chicken from JR. Can it just be Mr. Payne or Artis Payne, or I hear y'all say Cap, or the radio guys say Cap? I'm fine with that, but I don't like people taking familiarities with my three names. One of them I rarely use. Well, and that's a federal thing, so we won't get into that. But just call the guy Cameron Payne or 41 or Mr. Payne or Artis Payne. We don't have to try to celebritize him by saying Cameron Artis Payne every time he comes out on the field. And I don't know how whether y'all agree or disagree. It don't make no difference to me.
Well, Henry,
Henry.
we appreciate the phone call.
we
And
got-
by the way, Justin, let me say this: get that boy's number,
Yeah.
because that is humor in a bottle right
Yeah,
there.
well-
So if we can get Henry and James and Kamari, if we can get them to call in every show, and Bo, I mean, we'd have some.
Gee, let me tell you something. That was great because that call took a completely different turn than I thought it was going to. I was all ready to agree with you, Henry, where you were about to say that Stan White blames everything that's ever happened to Auburn on the officials. It's always holding, it's always this, it's always that, and he does do that. I think that's irrefutable. And then you go to Cameron Artis Payne. That is fantastic because really, honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. Actually, Cameron Artis Payne kind of rolls off the tongue. I mean, I kind of dig saying that. And he does hyphenate his name, and he's not the only person out there who does. So I guess that's why they do it. I mean, I don't think Artis is his middle name, right? I mean, this is some kind of family thing, right? I mean, I don't know the whole backstory to it. But now I'm going to have to find out. But I do like, you inspired me to come up with a nickname, the artist formerly known as Payne. I like that.
Well, let's go back to the phone lines. Good thing about tonight is we continue to move on. Caller, you're on Sports Blitz. Caller, you there?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're on
ma'am.
the line.
Okay, I'm an Auburn fan.
Uh-huh.
I've been all my life. I'm one of those diehard fans.
That's good, Helen.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why are all of the announcers, they really put us down? Like they say, Alabama, we're going to lose, the next 3 games. And, why do they do us that way?
Do you mean announcers outside of the Auburn
The
broad?
ESPN and stuff like that. I've heard that we're going to lose and Alabama's going to win, the next 3. So,
I think, Helen, the beauty of sitting here and doing what Luke and I do, that you get paid to talk. And
Right.
when you watch a game like you did last weekend, it's very easy to jump on the bandwagon and say exactly what the guy across from you is saying. I think that's the reason some, like a Colin Cowherd out there that I really like, he doesn't care. He doesn't really say what others think or what they feel. So, Helen, I think that once, back to your question though, I think once one of them says it, they feel like it's pretty good for the rest of them to say it.
yeah. Well, I've been an Auburn fan forever, and even when we're down, I'm still up,
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen us go down and come back up.
Absolutely. And we hope we're going to do the same here, Helen.
It's not over yet.
That's right. And thank the Lord. We appreciate
Thank you.
your phone
Look,
call tonight.
Let me say that about what Helen says. Every fan base. I mean, Alabama fans I know think Gary and Vern at CBS dislike Alabama. Auburn fans all think they dislike. Every SEC fan base, LSU fans are talking about it. Gary and Vern, they just hate us. I mean, I've listened to them. They don't sound like they're partial to any team at all to me. I mean, I think that Gary and Vern are actually kind of fun. I mean, I know Vern mispronounces names and he gets things wrong, but that's kind of to me, that is the South. We just we let some of that stuff slide, and you can tell they're passionate about the games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think they love the SEC, and I think they love what they do. And Gary Danielson, as far as breaking down the X's and O's, there's nobody better. So I like those two guys, and I don't care that occasionally they praise Auburn or praise LSU, or they'll say some things, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. I don't think they're pulling for anybody. Neither one of them went to an SEC school.
Yeah.
So
good points. If you've got some comments on that, 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
I was impressed with how many great reviews they had.
What makes CertaPro different is that our people really care about making our customers happy.
They asked what they could do to make painting an extraordinary experience for us. And they kept the gate latched.
We work from a personalized written certainty pledge.
CertaPro painters did a wonderful job. They respected our lifestyle and our home.
It's about 5-star craftsmanship and having truly satisfied customers.
Schedule your free estimate at columbus-auburn.certapro.com.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, don't choose an attorney simply because they have flashy television commercials and tons of billboards. Call a local attorney who can give your case the personal attention it needs and deserves. For over 20 years, I've handled hundreds of auto accidents, and I take pride in the personal service we provide and the results we obtain for our clients. So if you've been injured, give me a call today and put our team to work for you.
Don't let pests take your house or business over. Wave the red flag. Red Flag Pest, owned and operated by Scott Davis on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, is licensed, insured, and bonded, and serves the Lake Martin area, specializing in lake homes, residential property, and industrial property. Call for a free inspection today, 256-825-0430, and visit us online at redflagpestcontrol.com. Red Flag Pest Control, when the problem has to stop, guaranteed. Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed, it's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, both homeowners and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tires. My phone goes kaput. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Love to hear from you out there. Quickly, let's go through our players of the week this past week in high school football. And I'm going to start with one that's the AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week, and it's brought to you by Russell Building Supply and Russell Do-It Center. We can't thank them enough for being the corporate partner, the lead sponsor for the AHSA Radio Network, right here hubbed out of Alexander City, Alabama, but a lot of different locations in this part of the state. So make sure to shop local. Go out there to Russell Building Supply and Russell Do-It Center. Nico Collins, the wide receiver from Clay Chalkville, is the AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week. Promising 6'3" sophomore receiver, had 6 catches for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns in an 85-50 win against Scottsboro as we continue to move on. This week's Montgomery Area Player of the Week that's brought to you by Cruise Planners, your cruise and land specialist. Rudalisa Anderson, you can call her at 844-722-6342, is Brandon Baines. And what a season he's putting together at Tallahassee, Alabama. Finished with 179 yards and a pair of touchdowns on 22 carries as Tallahassee wins 49-20 and moves into the second round of the Class 5A state playoffs. I think that sends Baines up around 2,700 yards rushing on his senior season. Our Sportz Blitz Lake Martin Area Player of the Week is brought to you by Lee Marketing Group. Brett and I called this game, and this young man, he's a better young man than he is a football player. He's as good as we've got here in Alexander City, and I'm proud to call Chase Burton as our Lake Martin Area Player of the Week. The junior running back from Benjamin Russell High School had 227 yards on 24 carries, 2 touchdowns, and that come from behind victory for Benjamin Russell over Stanhope Elmore. They move on to take on Spanish Fort in the second round of the playoffs. And a new sponsor here, and very proud to have them on, is Hometown Lenders there in Auburn area. Wesley Wilkerson is who you'll want to call on there if you're looking for a mortgage loan. If you're looking to call on someone, Hometown Lenders is a great one. HTLontheplains.com is their website. Their phone number is 334-718-0280. They love high school football here in the state of Alabama. That's the reason we're proud to have them on. Lee County Player of the Week, Quandeski Boozy Whitlow from Opelika High School. The defensive end, one of the best we have in the state. He had 7.5 tackles, 4.5 behind the line of scrimmage, and 1.5 sacks as number 2 Opelika takes down Wetumpka 33-7 this past week. And Luke, let's go back to the phone lines. But when we come back, we're going to run down some games, some key games in 7A and 6A, and then run down the rest of the brackets. Caller, you're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, how you doing there?
Good to hear from you.
Okay. I just want to speak to Luke there a minute concerning that game the other night.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, number 90, Jerry Reed, did he have 15 tackles? I understand that he had 15 tackles from the defensive line position. And also, I just want to give a shout-out to Reuben Foster on that hit that he put on Fournette at the end of the game.
Oh, I totally agree.
In the words of Paul Bear-Grant to Reuben Foster, bingo, that a goodie.
Thanks for the phone call. Yeah, we can talk about that Reuben Foster hit because that was a huge momentum swing. You could argue Alabama already had momentum, and I think everything changed when LSU kicked that ball out of bounds. I mean, look, Alabama may have still come back, but they probably would have started on the 20. Or, you know what we said on Talking Tuscaloosa this week was, just go ahead and kick it to Christian Jones. He hadn't had a great year returning the football. He's a threat, more of a threat to fumble right now than he is to return it for a touchdown. So it sets up Blake Sims in a perfect position. But if you're LSU, you still had to feel good. Alabama hadn't moved it at all in the second half. But that hit by Reuben Foster, man, did that get the sideline fired up.
Love to hear from you, 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. He also had a question about Reed and 15 tackles.
Yeah, and look, I was at the game, and so it was difficult to tell who, and I was so high up. I was changing light bulbs, so it's hard to say who tackled what, but I would believe it because I certainly did hear his name on the loudspeaker a lot.
Let's run down 7A and 6A, and Luke, there's some big games. Always, once you make it to the second round, there's no one that you're going to ease by left in the playoffs, and anyone can move forward at this point, but let's talk about 7A and 6A.
Well, you look at 7A, and these are going to be easy to go through because there are only 4 games. Foley at Fairhope, Prattville at Central Phoenix City, Tuscaloosa County at Hoover, and Oak Mountain at Gaston City. And one of these things is not like the other because everybody looks like a threat to win this thing with the exception of Tuscaloosa County, who's 6-5. But give them credit for moving on, but it sure feels like they're going to be a sacrificial lamb to Hoover this week. The game that I really want to keep my eye on, I know most everybody's going to point to this Prattville-Phoenix City game, but the Foley-Fairhope, I mean, that's going to be a fantastic ball game.
Yeah, Fairhope has been one of the top teams in all of 7A. They haven't lost yet. We've seen that team continue to get better and better over the years, and I do think there's a big storyline with that Phoenix City and Prattville. Second time they've seen one another this year. It's a 10-point game the first time, and it's still Jamie DuBose taking on a Prattville team. I guess the second go-around, not quite the luster of the first go-around, but that game was back and forth and should be a big one here in the state of Alabama. Luke, let's quickly go to a break. When we come back, we're going to run down 6A, run down some of the key games from 5A down to 1A, and take your phone calls at 800-782-0108. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
Supposed to be done the other way. Yes. Fournette does get it.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
When you're on Lake Martin and looking for your own boat, it pays to know what the locals know. Alex City Marine in Alex City and the all-new Alex City Marine South on Highway 63 across from the Mini Mall is Lake Martin's premier Landau pontoon boat dealer and the area's authorized Suzuki, Honda, and Mercury outboard dealer. Alex City Marine has the industry's best brands, and they back it up with the industry's best boat repair with marine-certified specialists that get it done right. Whether summerization or a full overhaul, Alex City Marine has you covered on both ends of the lake. Know what the locals know. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin's complete sales and service center with 2 locations to serve you.
JR Sports Bar and Grill. Mondays, all you can eat fingers, $13.25. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, all you can eat wings, $12.25. Every day, kids in uniforms eat for $1.99. Alabama Street in Alexander City and Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
For over 60 years, East Central Alabama has relied on Jackson Refrigeration for installation and service on all brands, including Rheem, Goodman, and York. Now we've expanded into A1 Four Seasons Heating and Air, a division of Jackson Refrigeration. We still make your comfort our priority and expect our staff to be the most experienced, dedicated, and trained to give you the highest quality of sales and service. When choosing your heating and air company, choose our family of professionals. The all-new A1 Four Seasons Heating and Air, the all-new division of Jackson Refrigeration.
When it comes to providing the very finest in funeral services, there's one name that stands alone. At Radney's Funeral Home, we take pride in our reputation as one of the leading funeral homes in this part of Alabama. Since 1938, our name has stood for honesty, integrity, and quality. These are the principles that have made Radney's Funeral Home the #1 choice when you want the very finest in funeral service for your family. Radney's Funeral Home, the independent hometown funeral home serving Tallapoosa and surrounding counties.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Got about an hour and 7 minutes left in the program. 800-782-0108. Our prediction for tonight, you can find us on social media also. Alabama and Mississippi State. Dak Prescott passing yards will be the tiebreaker this week, so go ahead and start getting those predictions in as we've moved into the high school ranks and ran down 7A, which is much smaller class, Super 7 state championships. Luke and I and the rest of the HSA Radio Network broadcast team will be over for that. 7A plays on Wednesday night. The other games are the exact same as they have been being, 11, 3, and 7 on Thursday and Friday, so you can tune in on that. One interesting classification and one that I've been looking forward to for a long time is this Class 6A, so let's kick it off, Luke.
Saraland at Opelika is a ridiculously good game in the second round. I mean, both of those teams could win the state championship if you ask me. Benjamin Russell at Spanish Fort, we talked about that. McAdory at Oxford is interesting in that Oxford's 6-5, but I think we all know Oxford's got tradition, they've got talent, they're a good team. And this McAdory squad, they've been living on the edge. They won by 1 point this past weekend, I believe it was. So They're undefeated, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset there. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa at Carver of Montgomery. Carver Montgomery is probably as athletic as any team in the state, and I include 7A, but can they get it together chemistry-wise? They have 2 losses this year. Muscle Shoals at Clay Chalkville. Who in the world wants to play Clay Chalkville right now? They put 85 on the board. Yes, they give up 50, and normally I'm not a big proponent of that, but Clay Chalkville is just so dangerous. I mean, they're fine. If they give up 50, they can still beat you by 35, as evidenced by this last weekend. Southside Gaston at Decatur. Shades Valley at Florence in a rematch from what game 1 was that had Shades Valley win that game. So this is going to be interesting. And Rashad Louis, will he be back? He's suspended quarterback for Shades Valley. He's a very integral piece to that team. And if he's not back, I suspect this may be the end of the road for Shades Valley. And finally, Homewood at Gardendale.
You know, I'll say the one that's near and dear to my heart there in Class 7A, and that's that Benjamin Russell moving on the road at Spanish Fort. It's been a game that, if you can say you look forward to playing a team that hasn't lost but one time in 3 years, Benjamin Russell is, because we went down there a couple of years ago, lost 21-10. It's 14-10 with about 4 minutes left. They had it 3rd and 16 at their own 4. And they're successful on a 3rd down conversion play, and Benjamin Russell can't get it back. And it was a great game. Spanish Fort goes on and easily wins the state championship that year. Both teams at 10-1. It's going to be an interesting contest. We're looking forward to going down there. You can tune us in. WKGA975.com is where you can pull that game in. But when you talk about that Clay Chalkville team, I'll again say what my father said this week. He said, "Did you watch Clay Chalkville the first of the year in that opening game that they were on ESPN?" I said, "No, I didn't catch it." He said, "If you watched them, you'll understand why them giving up 50 is not that big a deal, because they can score like that on anybody they play."
85 points in a high school. And this isn't the playoffs. This isn't playing some, Class 1A team that's not very good. I mean, they're playing a playoff caliber team, and they score 85 points.
Let's quickly go back to the phone line, take this phone call. Actually, let's go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, we're going to have a special guest on, Justin Kraft, with us. We're going to talk about the UAB football situation. Luke will catch up with Justin. Excited to have him on. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Arctic Air and Heat, located in Jackson Gap on Highway 280. Mr. Darryl Kazai invites you to call him. Now, folks, the cold weather's coming. That's a fact. Now, he is your rain dealer. That's RHEEM. His number is 256-794-4341. That's Darryl Kazai. Ask him about central heating and air. Central heating and air. That's 256-794-4341. Kazaya. Darryl Kazaya.
Over the years, S&S Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Alex City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
At Brown Nursing Home, you'll find quality care and comfortable living. We take great pride in our rehabilitation services, including short-term rehabilitation. We offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy, as well as skilled nursing care. Brown is located on Washington Street in Alexander City. For more information, contact Cecily Lee, the administrator, at 256-329-9061.
Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Karen Chanel. I specialize in helping families and individuals like yourself in the Alexander City and Lake Martin communities. With over 20 years experience with State Farm and a dynamic team of licensed professionals, I am committed to helping you manage the risk of everyday life. And we not only consider it an honor, but a privilege to assist you in meeting your insurance and financial services needs. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Sperlin Recycling. For all your commercial recycling or demolition needs, call them today at 256-234-0903 or visit them online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live. Luke Robinson with you. And we've got an incredibly interesting guest with us now, Mr. Justin Kraft, who's an Alex City native. He lives in Birmingham now. He played football at UAB, and he is a member of the UAB Football Foundation now, and he's a very concerned UAB supporter. Mr. Kraft, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Luke, doing well. How about you guys?
Doing really good. I want you just to jump right in and tell people what's going on with UAB football right now, because honestly, I don't think this story has gotten as much traction as it probably should, because as I said earlier in the program, UAB is possibly on the verge of not having football anymore.
Yeah, man, to answer your question, I really wish I knew what was going on. That was really the purpose of a group of former players got together, and really a lot of things weren't adding up, and I'll go back through that. But what we did was send an open letter to our president, Dr. Ray Watts, and our athletic director, trying to get some answers, because UAB for the last 8 or 9 years has really struggled on the field. There hasn't been any investment made, capital investment in the program. The facilities really needed a lot, and as former players, we've been talking about this for quite a while. Finally got great leadership in. Our head coach, Bill Clark, is doing a phenomenal job, as he's already been recognized right now halfway through the year is the top first-year head coach in FBS football for the job he's doing at UAB. And, the guys are 5-5. They're playing hard. We got an Alex City native, Cameron Blankenship, starting on the offensive line, doing a tremendous job. And frankly, as former players, we were concerned about some things that we had found out. And just to lay out, Luke, for you guys, just a couple of things that started was we realized that there had been no out-of-conference scheduling past the 2016 season. And, it's pretty common in sports to have your out-of-conference games, in football rather. Most of our peer schools have scheduled all the way through 2019, at least some of their games, and a lot of the schools, all of their games. Then we realized that Coach Clark only had a 3-year contract, which is very odd today. Most Division I contracts are 5 years. There's 1 or 2 at 4, but there's not any at 3 years. And frankly, I guess the thing that really turned it is I was asked by a group of Birmingham business people led by Jimmy Filler, a very successful businessman here in Birmingham, who have really bought into what Coach Bill Clark is doing and realized that there needs to be some enhancements, major enhancements to the facilities, has gotten together with the city of Birmingham and Mayor William Bell and worked on a partnership agreement to come in and build a new indoor practice facility as well as coaches' offices. And we got together to meet with the mayor and the athletic director about that. And frankly, we're not met with, you would think you would be met with open arms and excitement. And frankly, that was not how the meeting went. And out of that meeting, we found out that there's a strategic study, and the president's exact words were, we're going to decide based on the the findings of that strategic study, the direction we're going to go with athletics. And that had us, all those things got us very, very concerned, and we spent a long time trying to get answers to those questions. Never could, so we felt like the best thing to do is what you guys are doing. We sent an open letter to the president and hope that the media would get involved and ask some of these questions.
And it is a very odd story because UAB does have the backing of some pretty powerful people. I know Mayor William Bell came into the locker room at halftime of this past game against Louisiana Tech and said, we've got your back, keep playing hard, do your thing. So it's just a very, very odd story. What do you think is the biggest hurdle for UAB here, or do you believe there's something behind the scenes or somebody behind the scenes keeping UAB from being what you think they can be?
You know, I wish I knew the answer to that. I mean, I went to UAB, as you know, I played at Benjamin Russell, just had an awesome time there, had a chance to go to Georgia Tech, and then transferred over to UAB when they turned Division I, and Gene Bartow spelled out his vision for the program, and frankly, we had a lot of success early on. If you look back, really proud, we did more with less than just about any program. You know, we had some of the top 5 defenses in the country, went to a bowl game, you know, fairly quickly, had a lot of success early on. And then all of a sudden, you know, we went to our first bowl game, and literally right after that, things really started changing. And, you know, there hasn't been any improvement in facilities, so frankly, it's been long overdue, but finally we got some excitement with Bill Clark, and has the alumni buzzing, the city's buzzing, the business community's buzzing, and they're seeing, you know, that UAB can be a real asset in the city. And so your question is exactly what mine is, and hundreds of others just like me. You know, the city's behind it, the business community's behind it, the alumni are behind it, the students are behind it. You know, What is the problem? You know, what is holding this back? And that's what we're looking for some answers.
And Justin, I certainly sense your frustration. I know it's got to be a very tiring thing for you to have to keep asking these questions, not get the answer that you want. But allow me just to take the other side here for just a second. I want you to address some of these, because I do see where it could be a chicken or the egg thing in terms of if, you know, cynics to UAB may say, well, they don't have enough sport to justify keeping the program afloat, whereas I'm sure you're saying, hey, we'll get more support if we can just have a little bit of traction here. But just for instance, I know that attendance it increased 130%, I believe, this year, but it's still only reported at 23,000. So, again, you could take both sides of this thing. What does UAB have to do to make something happen? Because, look, they're winning at about the best pace you can win right now. Bill Clark is 5-5, doing a fabulous job, but you've got Marshall and at Southern Miss left, so it's going to be tough to get to a bowl game, right?
Oh, it's definitely a challenge, and you know, Coach has done a lot with a little. Frankly, you know, there's several positions where we need help with depth. But, you know, to address your question, Luke, you make a great point. I mean, we're averaging about 23,000. And, you know, we play such great football in the state of Alabama. I mean, you've got Auburn and Alabama both competing for national championships pretty much every year. They're right in the hunt, and they're bringing in 100,000 people. And, you know, that's really the exception if you look at college sports. It's not the norm. It's what we're used to. I mean, obviously you grew up with it, and I grew up with it. And boy, I wish I would have had a chance to play in an environment like that consistently. But you know, frankly, there are only a few of those schools out of the FBS Division I program. 91 schools actually do not make money and are subsidized by the university. If you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten, or if you're not a name like Notre Dame or USC, frankly, you know, you're a program that is building undergraduate enrollment and is building pride in the university. But if you look at the attendance in our conference, we actually rank 5th with who we compete with. You know, the Middle Tennessee States and the Southern Misses and the Western Kentuckys, and of course Troy is a rival, and we're competing with South Alabama. If you look at those guys, we're right in line or ahead. Like I said, we're 5th in our conference, and that's who we compete with, and that's what I think that would be great for the state. If Auburn and Alabama are winning national championships and UAB is competing for a Conference USA championship, all it does is bring a positive light to the state that says, hey, no matter what level of ball, these guys know how to play football in the state of Alabama.
And Justin, again, I hear you, and you are definitely passionate about this program. But again, let me jump to the other side of the fence just for a second. Yeah. This afternoon, I decided when I knew that you were going to be on the program, first of all, I listened to your interview on Jocks, and it was fabulous. But secondly, the thing I did was I went to the UAB, one of their fan boards. And I know this is not the most scientific method to garner interest in a program, but there were two people on UAB's message board at that time. By comparison, there were 1,988 on the Bunker, which is the rival site for Auburn, at the very same time. And I know you're not saying Auburn and UAB are on the same footing football-wise. My point is, how much of this is on UAB fans? Because really, you're out there and you're passionate and you're doing your thing. But I don't hear a lot of other people like you. So how much of this is actually on Blazer fans?
Man, you're right on, and we certainly don't garner the attention that of course, Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee do. But I will say, I just happen to know this statistic, Luke, so I'll throw it at you. There are two Blazer boards, two Blazer fan boards, and I'm not sure which one it is. A good friend of mine actually runs one called Blazer Talk, and he was telling me that they're averaging 4,000 visits per day, which is not huge because you could go to inside the Auburn Tigers, or Alabama's got 2 or 3, and it's much, much bigger than that. But there's been a lot of interest. I was really excited. There's been a USA Today story. There's been a couple of stories from CBS and different things. So I think it is catching legs. I mean, we certainly put it out there, hoping that the media could help us get answers. But certainly you're right. I mean, when you have a product on the field that has had, has gone 2-10 and 3-9 for 7 or 8 years in a row, and there's been no leadership or direction by the administration, no capital investment made, it becomes frustrating as a fan. And to be honest with you, Luke, I've been frustrated, and that's why behind the scenes I've been asking a lot of questions. And what a breath of fresh air to finally have Bill Clark come in there and really have vision and have leadership. And now people are getting interested again, like they were, back in the early 2000s when we had Roddy White and Darryl Hackney. And we're showing we can compete in the league that we play in. And like you said, the chicken or the egg, I think that interest in those people are starting to come back. We certainly got a long way to go, there's no doubt.
Well, Justin, thanks so much for being with us. I can only imagine how frustrating this is and beyond annoying, in that you have this program that you played for and it could possibly be going away, and you're doing everything you can do to keep it there, and I certainly admire you for it. And thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Hey, always enjoy the show. Thank you, guys, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, we want to have you on again really, really soon with an update on this, so stay by the phone, okay?
Hey, absolutely. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Justin. That was Justin Kraft, who is Senior Vice President in the Birmingham area at a financial firm, and just a concerned UAB supporter, also a concerned former player, and is with the UAB Football Foundation. And you don't think about how many lives this would touch if that program were to go away, how many players are on scholarship there at UAB right now, and it's just something to consider. So it's a story we're definitely going to keep our eye on. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Arctic Air and Heat, located in Jackson Gap on Highway 280. Mr. Daryl Kazai invites you to call him. Now, folks, the cold weather's coming. That's a fact. Now, he is your rain dealer. That's RHEEM. His number is 256-794-4341. That's Daryl Kazai. Ask him about central heating and air. Central heating and air. That's 256-794-4341. Kazaya. Daryl Kazaya.
Over the years, S&S Tires has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Ellick City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
At Brown Nursing Home, you'll find quality care and comfortable living. We take great pride in our rehabilitation services, including short-term rehabilitation. We offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy, as well as skilled nursing care. Brown is located on Washington Street in Alexander City. For more information, contact Cecily Lee, the administrator, at 256-329-9061.
Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Karen Chanel. I specialize in helping families and individuals like yourself in the Alexander City and Lake Martin communities. With over 20 years experience with State Farm and a dynamic team of licensed professionals, I am committed to helping you manage the risk of everyday life. And we not only consider it an honor, but a privilege to assist you in meeting your insurance and financial services needs. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Sperlin Recycling. For all your commercial recycling or demolition needs, call them today at 256-234-0903 or visit them online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Got about 45 minutes left on the program. The phone lines are wide open for you the remainder of the program. Our prediction out there is Alabama and Mississippi State. Tiebreaker, Dak Prescott passing yards. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. Before we jump off this topic, enjoyed that interview about as much as I've enjoyed one in a while. First off, Justin, he could do what we're doing.
Oh, yeah,
he's
great.
Outstanding on air, and it's just a neat story. And we know, I don't know any of the players personally. I'm calling the players. I mean the players in the episode, the talk that's going on out there. But I've been hearing it since I lived in Birmingham a long time ago, and it's just something that continues to gain legs. And the stories, it's compelling to say the least, Luke.
It's really compelling, and like I said during the break, that if there is somebody in there sabotaging this thing, which it sounds like UAB's got some folks that are really throwing the spikes out on the highway here, then they could have done a lot better job by not hiring Bill Clark, because we've had him on the program, and that's a guy who's dedicated, who's good, and is going to win wherever he is. I don't care what situation you put him in. Garrick McGee was probably a good guy to keep around the program if you wanted UAB to go away, but now that you got Bill Clark there and he's getting things organized and getting things done, it makes it a little bit tougher to say we don't need this program anymore. And look, UAB does have some other support besides Justin out there. I know Kevin Skarbinski's always been a huge, almost annoying UAB supporter.
Because he knew he was the only one beating the drum.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know what to feel here, Randy, honestly, because I do feel for somebody like Justin who has got all this emotional and financial probably investment in this program, and it could be going away. At the same time, look, if the football program's not bringing anything in, and I know they say they're averaging 23,000 people, there ain't 23,000 people in that stadium. Now, they may sell 23,000 tickets or give them away, but you can just look at the pictures and see they're not 23,000 people. There may be 2,300 people there sometimes. So, again, I get it. If there's no support, and if Justin's one of 5,000 people, then it's going to be hard to keep this thing afloat. But if there are, 50,000 UAB fans out there that will come to the surface now that this thing's gotten some traction, then I'm more power to you. Man, keep that program going.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing that they're doing here. They are going to media outlets much like ours. I'm a big supporter of UAB. We've had multiple players, including Justin, go on and play at that. I know what it means to those families, to those kids. I've never really understood covering high school sports the way that we have now, and we love doing it. Why in the world you don't take advantage of the miss-outs that Auburn and Alabama only want 5 or 6 a year.
Right.
They're after about a dozen of them. I can name you another. I'll take the next 12. If UAB would stop missing on the next 12, they wouldn't have this problem. And I don't think Bill Clark's going to miss on those next 12 too many times.
Here's the deal. I don't even think it's the next 12. I think it's maybe the next 12 after that 12, because Keith Mixon, Alabama and Auburn have deemed him a no offer. I've talked about Keith Mixon at Shades Valley all year long, wrote a big article in B Metro about him. Love the kid. I would love for Alabama to offer him, because I think he's going to be fabulous. I think he's a Amir Abdullah, Darren Sproles type player. But he's going to Mississippi State. And UAB's not going to beat Mississippi State for Darren Sproles.
True.
I mean, not for Darren Sproles, for Keith Mixon. And they shouldn't. I mean, Mississippi State's a lot better program than UAB. Now, the next guy down, like Rashad Louis, and I don't mean to take a shot at Rashad Louis, he's a great player. But if I'm UAB, I look there.
And don't miss. You can't miss there.
That's the way you grow this thing grassroots style, is what you do is you go after Birmingham guys that we've been following in high school, because then they'll still want to cheer them, and then they'll go see them play in Legion Field. Now, play a Tuesday night game. Don't compete with Alabama and Auburn game times. If you put a game on at noon and Alabama's got a game at 2:30, nobody's going to Legion Field, I can tell you right now. But if you play on Thursday night, on Wednesday night, something funky, say, you know what, we're going to do something totally different. We're going to play a game at 9 o'clock in the morning. You've got to think outside the box, because you cannot be on the same playing field as Alabama and Auburn. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I'll go back before I quickly go back to the phone lines. Much like the kid we had here in Alexander City that's a 3-year starter, Cameron Blankenship. He passes the eye test. You turn the film on, and you're like, this kid can play. We knew that Alabama and Auburn were interested in him. Alabama offered him a gray shirt, allowing him to come on and sit out that first year and then move in and potentially come back through and get a scholarship offer. But he had other offers. So he is the prime example. You can't miss on that kid. You got to keep that kid 60 miles from your campus. You got to keep him at home. You got to keep, instead of going out of state. I've never understood that. If you're going to miss on somebody in state that so many of us care about.
And let me give you an example. Somebody like Amir Abdullah. Now, it's silly to say Amir Abdullah would have gone to UAB now, but I wonder, back at the time he was being recruited, when Alabama and Auburn decided not to offer him, if Mama says, hey, I don't know if I want you going to Lincoln, Nebraska, when UAB right here is coming after you as hard as they can come after you, and they say they're going to feature you. It worked out well for Abdullah, no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, could UAB have done a little more to get somebody like that in?
Good point. They do it well in basketball. I know that this is a different beast, but UAB does it as well as we do in basketball, so you've got to expect that. Caller, you're on Sports Blitz. Caller, you there with us? And hopefully we'll be able to catch them up. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464.
Well, I want to go back to Cameron Blankenship for a second, because I love him, I love his family, and I want him to do well. I'm trying to take any relationships we have out of this and look at it from a business decision. And I don't know what the financial statement of UAB is. It says it's not doing well financially.
That needs to be something that is thrown out there.
Yeah, it
Somebody
does.
needs to write an article on it.
But I do know that whenever you watch the sports at 10:30 on a Saturday night, and they show you UAB highlights right there at the very end after Miles College and after any other junior colleges and everything else. They usually show UAB towards the end. You look in those stands, and it looks incredibly empty. And that's on UAB fans. So all the outcry that we're supposed to be hearing, I hadn't heard any of it. Justin Kraft is doing it right. He is organizing some things, and he's coming at it from, look, he's not yelling and screaming and then not going to the game. Justin Kraft, I bet you, goes to UAB games.
He does. I see his picture.
And so, you need more Justin Krafts out there, or just support Justin Kraft somehow, any way you can if you want this program to stay there.
Very good points right there. Quickly, let's go back to one phone call that we had earlier. Oregon over FSU in the poll. That was a call that I think we had. Not sure exactly who called in.
That was Kamari, I think, wasn't it?
Is that crazy to you?
No, it's not, because, first of all, a couple of things. For weeks I've been saying FSU is dying for somebody to beat them. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of we want to get beat because we feel like, this we don't deserve this maybe. I don't know, because so many bad things have been going on over there. But the committee and every fan in the country also wants Florida State to go down. There's no doubt about it. So, but their play is speaking volumes. I mean, even though they're not losing, that Louisville team's not very good. I mean, they're okay, but they're not that good. And Florida State shouldn't have been in that kind of mess with them. Now, it makes a lot of sense now when you talk about this point shaving thing, because it sure looked like in that first half somebody was shaving something.
We got a couple of more minutes left here on this segment, I believe. Justin's giving me a little nod over there. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464.
What do you say?
To me, I think that until Florida State loses, they deserve to not be jumped. I don't really get it. You can go back, but Florida State, the way that they won against Louisville is the same way they won in the national championship against Auburn. They go down, and somehow you scratch your head and you're like, why in the world did it happen? But it happened. And Jameis Winston, he rises to the occasion. And when I look at college football this year, Luke, I don't point to an Alabama 3 years ago. They're not here. Alabama lost that year 9-6 to LSU, but they were so much. I'm an Auburn fan and remember watching that national championship game and remember watching that Alabama team that year, and it was like, there's no chance this team is going to lose. I don't see that team.
It was NFL player on top of NFL player everywhere.
I don't see that team.
No, I agree with you.
Alabama's definitely not that team this year, and no other team out there that I see is like that. So I think Florida State could do the same thing they did to Auburn last year to just about anybody that they play.
Phil Savage brought up a great point on another station somewhere listening a couple of weeks ago, and he said, we're finally beginning to see, we keep hearing every year about record number of juniors and redshirt sophomores coming out. We're finally beginning to see the effects of that in college football because the game isn't quite as sharp as it was. You look at Alabama and LSU specifically. LSU always looks like they're rebuilding now. I mean, you can say reloading, yes. I mean, you got a guy like Leonard Fournette. He's fabulous. But you still have a learning curve to go through, and Anthony Jennings is finding that out right now, their quarterback for LSU. Alabama's finding that out. I mean, nobody stays till they're a senior. When you recruit at the level of an LSU and Alabama and you have 4 or 5 juniors leave every year, guys like Vinny Sunseri are leaving early. I mean, imagine the dynamic of this team if just Vinny Sunseri's back. I don't think there's any chance they lose to Ole Miss if Vinny Sunseri's back. I mean, he was the quarterback of that defense. But you've got to start all the way over just about, and you've got to keep running these people in and out because you're recruiting so well, and everybody else is feeling the same effects. I mean, Oregon's about to find out with Marcus Mariota. He's definitely going to go pro.
Yeah, good points. 800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. When we come back, we'll have Andy Graham on, been holding off. I want to get him on, and we'll talk a little bit about Auburn's game and the upsetting loss that they had this past weekend and where do they go from here. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
Brett
Bradbury Medical Equipment serves the Lake Martin area's needs with durable medical equipment and respiratory care. Bradbury Medical Equipment is home-owned and operated, providing skilled, qualified, and professional people to set up and deliver all of their equipment. Bradbury Medical Equipment provides 24-hour service and will file all insurance claims, making claims trouble-free. Located on Airport Drive in Alexander City, Bradbury Medical Equipment, a history of neighborly care. Call them today at 256-215-8654.
Check this out, Auburn, Opelika. This is Wesley Wilkerson with Hometown Lenders. That's right, Hometown Lenders. We are now located in Auburn at 311 North College Street, Auburn, Alabama. We've been voted the #1 mortgage company in the Wiregrass and the Dothan area 3 years in a row. Now we're located in Auburn, Alabama. We're here to show you every mortgage that's available to help you either save some money or make that new home purchase. We have VA, FHA, conventional, you name it, we got it. Give us a call today at 334-521-8213 or get on our website at htlontheplains.com and fill out the application. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
Over the years, S&S Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Ellick City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Dane Sharp, attorney at law, helping injured people get the full benefit of their case. Call Dane today at 256-825-4631.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. In the Auburn Blitz segment of the program, I got my good friend Andy Graham, the host of Sports Call every afternoon from 4 to 6 on 93.9, the Tiger in the Auburn area. Andy, thanks for taking a little time to talk with us tonight.
Always glad to be here.
Andy, can you put into words your disappointment Saturday?
Yeah, I suppose I can. It was very, very difficult. It was one of those games that you used my line from Sports Call today, and that's about exactly how I felt about it. I'm not got down early because that seems to be what we do. But when we got it back to even in the first quarter, by the end of the first quarter, I thought, well, we've hit reset. The defense is going to settle down. We're going to be fine. And we just the defense never really played well. I know we only gave up 6 points in the second half, but Texas A&M went on 2 or 3 long 9-play, 13-play drives and took up a lot of time, 70, 80-yard drives. And we held them to field goals, but they still were able to drive the ball on us. And it just you just never felt like we really had our feet under us until, right there at the end. But I got to be honest, when we lined up to kick that field goal at the half and it was blocked and run back, I thought I was going to throw up. It was as disappointed as I've been in quite a while.
Andy, one quick question, and I just kind of want to get a feel from you on what you heard this afternoon on Sports Call. A lot of callers calling in, of course, talking about the defense. Where does the defense go from here, in your opinion?
I don't. That's a great question, and there's this as far as this year is concerned. You just try to. I know Ellis Johnson and the defensive coaching staff are going to do whatever they can. That they're going to do what 30 years of experience tells you to do, and you try to repair the things that go wrong. You watch the film, you see this supposed miscommunication that continues to be cropping up. Perhaps maybe Jermaine Whitehead coming back and playing more and more in the secondary, his experience will help with that miscommunication. But as for right now, and I said this on Sports Call today, and you look at the Auburn defense, and there's not one person on the defense that I would say, well, they're the best at their position in this league. And I'm not sure you would say that about anybody on the team, as they're in the top 5 maybe at their position in the league. So I don't know. I think it's a matter of problems with the scheme. I think there's some deficiency in talent as well. Auburn's recruiting numbers say that they have recruited extremely well over the last 3 or 4 years, but it's not paying dividends on the field as of yet, at least on the defensive side of the ball. Part of coaching, and a huge part of coaching, is developing talent. And now this is only year number 2 of Ellis Johnson and this defensive staff. But as of right now, I've said 3 weeks ago that I thought this defense had made some improvements this year. Right now, I'm saying that they don't look any different this year than they did last year. So where do we go from here? We line up and try to stop the run against Georgia and try to outscore them. That's what we do.
Very good points. Let's close out the Auburn Blitz segment talking about Auburn basketball. They tipped off an exhibition game this past Friday night. They'll get headed into a tough early game season, an early game schedule that they have right here. Some tough teams coming up, Andy.
Yeah, kicked off the season Friday night there at the Auburn Arena, 9 o'clock, a late tip. But I guess that may be in preparation for the game after that, where they go to Boulder, Colorado, and they tip off at midnight, kind of on that 24 hours of basketball that ESPN does. But, some interesting tests here. Auburn's going to play Winthrop, on down the line. They're going to play Coastal Carolina. A lot of these teams, smaller schools, but yet a lot of these teams you see in the tournament year in and year out. Very excited. Auburn put up 94 points in their exhibition game against West Alabama. I don't think scoring is going to be a problem for this basketball team. KT Harrell back, Antoine Mason can put the ball in the hole. Simeon Bowers had a good game. He's going to have to be a big force in the middle. Auburn, not a big team. It'll be very interesting to see. Wisconsin-Milwaukee is a big team, so it'll be an interesting challenge right off the bat, game 1, to see how this Auburn team plays when they're undersized, which they're going to be in a lot of games this year. But they're built on speed, and they're going to try to put a lot of points on the board. So it's really very exciting right now. You saw the sellout for an exhibition game. I expect nothing less for the home opener against Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I think it's going to be, regardless of what happens, I think it's going to be a really, really fun season.
Andy, looking forward to being with you tomorrow afternoon. Sports Call from 4 to 6. Sports Call Auburn is where you can pull that up online. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, looking forward to it.
Dane Sharp, attorney at law, your Auburn Blitz sponsor. We can't thank him enough. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire right after this.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. If you've been injured in an auto accident, don't choose an attorney simply because they have flashy television commercials and tons of billboards. Call a local attorney who can give your case the personal attention it needs and deserves. For over 20 years, I've handled hundreds of auto accidents, and I take pride in the personal service we provide and the results we obtain for our clients. So if you've been injured, give me a call today and put our team to work for you.
CTE Small Engines has served East Alabama's lawn and power equipment needs with quality products from Echo, Husqvarna, and Kawasaki. But now, CTE has expanded to serve the entire state with full lines of Titan UTVs. CTE Small Engines is Alabama's exclusive Titan dealer with full lines of the Scoot, Sniper, Explorer, and Recon series, featuring hybrid electric and gas combo with up to an 1100cc power package. See Alabama's exclusive Titan dealer, CTE Small Engines in Opelika next to Tigertown off I-85. Or shop our full inventory at ctesmallengines.com.
Excitement awaits you on beautiful Lake Martin. Alex City Guide Service can provide you with a charter trip of a lifetime. Licensed charter guide David Hare has over 20 years of experience on Lake Martin, specializing in live bait fishing for trophy-sized saltwater striped bass, largemouth bass, and spotted bass. Call Alex City Guide Service today at 256-401-3089 or visit them online at www.alexcityguideservice.com.
Family owned and operated, Holly's Home Furnishings is the Lake Martin area's best choice for all of your furniture needs. Whether you're looking for something new for the living room, dining room, or bedroom, Holly's has something you'll love for every room in your house. Holly's has a great selection of furniture in the most popular names like Lane, Broyhill, Rowe Furniture, as well as the best names in mattresses like Sealy and Tempur-Pedic. You can even get beautiful home decor, everything your home needs, at Holly's Home Furnishings, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City. Visit their website at hollyshomefurnishings.com.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due, it's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfits, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band, she needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm, he needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So because it's always something, remember Always Money. How much can we loan you today?
At the Medicine Shop, we're dedicated to the idea that quality pharmacy care means more than just prompt prescriptions. When you come to the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, you'll be able to count on dependable care from a knowledgeable pharmacist. The Medicine Shop is the only compounding pharmacy in the area, and we offer the shingles vaccine year-round. Bring your prescriptions by the drive-thru on Airport Drive in Alex City, or input them online at www.medicineshop.com, or call them at 256-215-8014. The Medicine Shop, caring beyond prescriptions.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. Got about 4 minutes left here in this segment. Got a new segment before we go on into talking a little bit. We got a new segment that we're kicking off this week, and Talking Tuscaloosa is a program that you've been doing for quite a while. Luke, just give us all an update on what we're going to be doing in this final segment.
Well, this will start acting as the Bama Blitz, and what we do every week, Jimmy Stein and I, Jimmy Stein's been on this program several times. He's a contributor to Crimson Country Club, just like I am. He's kind of an Alabama internet legend. He has a lot of connections. He knows a lot of Alabama football stuff and Alabama basketball, really all things Alabama. And he and I do a podcast, and sometimes we have another guy named Kyle Odell who's also been in this program. Kyle is a really young kid, went to the University of Alabama. Now he's a scout for the San Francisco 49ers, living in Indianapolis, and he gets to check out all kind of games. And so on this podcast, at Talking Tuscaloosa, just at Talking Tuscaloosa, you can find us on Twitter. And we usually go for about an hour each week and just talk about the game we just played, the games coming up, and what else is going on in college football.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, so make sure to tune into that. And we'll have a quick segment, a quick snippet that we'll have each week, about 5 minutes as we close the program tonight. You got 1 minute on each. Your thoughts on Auburn this past weekend?
absolute shock. But it did restore my faith in humanity, to be quite honest with you. I mean, humanity may be the wrong word, and just karma maybe, in that, Auburn had gotten every single break a team could get for really a series of about 20 games. I mean, I know they had some blowouts mixed in there too. And so for them to lose in that fashion, it made me believe again, okay, there's a yin and a yang here. I mean, things have a way of evening out. Of course, they're not even quite yet, but we'll see. I still think this Auburn team can do some big things. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they ran Georgia out of the stadium, quite frankly. And then I wouldn't be surprised in the least if they beat Alabama. I mean, right now, I know Alabama's going to end up being a 7-point favorite in that game, plus or minus somewhere in there. I would take Auburn all day, every day, plus 7 points against Alabama right now, no doubt in my mind.
Your thoughts on Alabama Saturday night?
I thought Alabama, look, get out of LSU, get out of Death Valley with a win and just be happy. Alabama, ironically, won in the most Auburn-like fashion you could possibly win in. Blake Sims, gosh, this guy went from zero to a hero real quick in Alabama fandom. If you ask me, I think he's a guy that you can really wrap your arms around. He's a great kid, and you want to pull for him.
We still got 1 more minute, so I'm going to ask one more Alabama question. What in the world is going on with this Alabama running game?
Well, honestly, when you lose Kenyon Drake, and he was a huge part of this. I mean, I know he's listed as third team, but, man, he was so dynamic back there in the backfield and brought a whole new dimension to the running game. But then you've got a guy like T.J. Yeldon who's jack of all trades, master of none, and you've got Derrick Henry who really needs the other side to be tired a little bit. I mean, now when he gets going, it's hard to stop him. But Derrick Henry didn't hit the hole as hard as Kenyon Drake does. I mean, he's bigger, he's stronger, but Kenyon Drake, man, he went through that hole. He didn't care about the repercussions.
Yeah, and we're up against the end of the program here for us. We do have a Bama Blitz coming up here shortly, and we appreciate all the great phone calls out there. Best way to get in touch with us throughout the week, though, is Twitter or all of our social media outlets. Sportz Blitz, that's sports with a Z. So for Luke Robinson, I'm Randy Lee saying thanks for tuning into Sportz Blitz. Lee Marketing Group is proud to announce their recent alliance with Baker Street Advertising based in Opelika, Alabama. Now more than ever, it's important to develop a marketing plan that creates a compelling message, deploys that message, and analyzes metrics to optimize performance. LMG Baker strengthens our mission to help businesses market to their potential. Contact Randy Lee Jr. 256-750-5951 or visit our website, leemarketing.net.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
When it comes to health care, Russell Medical Center has always been my choice. When my doctor recommended I have my procedure there, I knew it was the right decision. He knows the kind of expertise, quality, and care I've come to expect. When surgery was necessary, I knew I would be in good hands, and it felt comfortable being treated in a facility so close to home.
Russell Medical Center, your health, your community, your hospital.
Let me tell you about Satterfields. Check out the beautiful showroom at Satterfields on Highway 280 in Alexander City. They have a great selection of outdoor grilling lines for your entertainment needs. Name brands like Big Green Egg, Lynx, Blaze, and Sabre are just a few. Also, lawn equipment by Shindawa, Echo, and Husqvarna. Power tools by Makita, and a great line of Carhartt clothing. All of this in one location, Satterfields on Highway 280 in Alexander City. Stop by and visit them today. Satterfield.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
Bama Blitz, brought to you by Bradbury Medical Center, offering durable medical equipment, including wheelchairs, oxygen, hospital beds, and more. 256-215-8654.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. This is the Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Minute. It's also going to act as your introduction to Talking Tuscaloosa, which is a podcast I do every week with Jimmy Stein, and usually with Kyle Odell, who is a scout for the San Francisco 49ers. We talk all things Alabama, and we've been doing it for over a year now. You can check out the podcast at Talking Tuscaloosa on Twitter, and it'll give you the link to it. Jimmy Stein, Kyle Odell, how are you guys tonight?
I'm doing very good. Kyle?
Doing great.
The game this past weekend, one of the most unbelievable, unfathomable Alabama wins in recent history, no doubt.
Well, every time that we've played LSU down in Baton Rouge since Nick Saban came to Tuscaloosa, the Saban-Miles matchups have always been a classic one way or another, and here we have yet another classic. You can count on Alabama LSU to add to the programming on ESPN Classic.
Kyle, what does it say about Alabama that Amari Cooper, yeah, he ended up with 8 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown, but he didn't have his best game. The offensive line was a little banged up, and they obviously didn't have their best game. The defense looked great, but they gave up a lot of third down conversions. They also couldn't get LSU's offense off the field, especially in the second half. All those things, and Blake Sims certainly wasn't on target for most of the game until the final 54 seconds. What does it say about this team that they were able to overcome all that in what most believe the most dangerous place to play in college football?
Yeah, it was just a level of resiliency this team showed to overcome the adversity that they faced in that game. You know, it speaks a lot of the defense to, for our offense to run 5 plays in the third quarter and pretty much dominate the time of possession. When their backs were against the wall, they had to be gassed to just step up and get stops when they needed. And then with 50 seconds left to go in the game and no timeouts, the offense got it done when they needed to in crunch time.
Kyle, for those who don't know, Kyle Odell, like I said earlier, is a scout for the San Francisco 49ers. We've had him on as a guest for Sportz Blitz in the past. He does an incredible job. Kyle, when you watched that game Saturday night, who jumped off the screen at you in terms of, okay, that's a guy that I would really love to draft?
Well, past years, that Alabama-LSU game has just been littered with NFL prospects. It's one of the games circled on a scout's calendar every year that, you're going to this game because there's going to be NFL talent all over the field. But if I had to pick a couple of guys who probably stood out more than others, Reggie Ragland was just an animal on the defensive side of the ball. It was seeing plays and reacting fast, and then just had some absolutely violent collisions with Leonard Fournette in the middle of the field, and it was over and over again. You can't discount production like that from a guy who's making plays consistently up and down the field. And then your typical, Landon Collins, who's high on everyone's board, I would imagine, just stepped up and had some big plays in the game, and just from the offensive side of the ball. You got to see more than just Amari Cooper in this game, which was, probably some credit to Amari that we were able to spread the ball around to Christian Jones and to O.J. Howard, and Brandon Green in a clutch play in overtime.
Jimmy, T.J. Yeldon gets hurt in this game. If Derrick Henry has to start against Mississippi State, number one team in the country, how do you feel about that this upcoming weekend?
Well, I think the health of the team altogether is the number one question going into this game. The health overall, not just TJ. We could sit here and name all of the kids who are banged up and hurt, and it would take up the entire show. Everyone's banged up and hurt. I do think TJ's health is a huge factor for this weekend, because even though Mississippi State's vulnerable against the pass, you have to show some balance. You can't just come out in four wides and one back or no back and go against them for 60 minutes. So we're going to have to be balanced at least to some degree, and whether TJ can go or not, to me, is a complete mystery. If we don't see TJ, I suppose we'll see more of Derrick Henry than we've seen, to this point, and Derrick's a fine player, but, I personally have always believed Derrick is at his best when he is a committee back and not the whole show because of what he brings to the table. So I think Nick Saban needs to channel some Mr. Miyagi and do whatever the heck he did to Cam Robinson's ankle last week and do the same treatment for TJ this week, because we will really need TJ Yeldon out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about Derrick Henry and being a committee back, or at least a better committee back. The problem is we're running out of committee members between Kenyon Drake being hurt and now TJ Yeldon being hurt. Look, we may have to see some Tyron Jones out there, which I'm totally okay with, but the fact of the matter is he's way on down the depth chart. Hopefully he can step up this weekend, because I suspect he will get some carries. Well, that's going to do it for the Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Blitz. It's also going to do it for this mini episode of the Talking Tuscaloosa podcast. If you'd like to hear more talk like this, please go check out @Talking Tuscaloosa on Twitter. You can get the podcast right there. We'll be doing this each and every week.
Check this out, Auburn, Opelika. This is Wesley Wilkerson with Hometown Lenders. That's right, Hometown Lenders. We are now located in Auburn at 311 North College Street, Auburn, Alabama. We've been voted the #1 mortgage company in the Wiregrass and the Dothan area 3 years in a row. Now we're located in Auburn, Alabama. We're here to show you every mortgage that's available to help you either save some money or make that new home purchase. We have VA, FHA, conventional, you name it, we got it. Give us a call today at 334-521-8213 or get on our website at htlontheplains.com and fill out the application. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hello? Yeah, man, I just picked some up. Wait a second. I think I see some cheaper ice. Hold on one moment. What's going on here?
Man, just get my ice at Twice Ice like I always do.
Well, look what I paid almost $3 for.
Man, you can get a 16-pound bag of ice or fill up your cooler with 20 pounds for $1.50. This is the only place to come.
Just pull up to one of our convenient locations in Alex City, Dadeville, Sylacauga, or Childersburg and fill up your cooler. Lowest price, convenience. That's what you get with Twice the Ice.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive at Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your healthcare and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed, it's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So because it's always something, remember Always Money. How much can we loan you today?
Tallapoosa Ford on Highway 280 in Alex City has delivered new Fords for 35 years. Need fuel efficiency with style? See the best selection of 13 Ford Fusions delivering 38 MPG in a new stylish package. Check out the Hybrid C Max crossover now on the lot, offering roomy comfort with an amazing 47 MPG, rating highway and city.
Hello, this is Jeff Smith with Tallapoosa Ford. I'd like to welcome you to our dealership and experience our low-pressure sales. With non-commissioned salespeople, our sales force is here to serve you.
Visit Tallapoosa Ford, Highway 280, Alex City. If we don't have it, we'll get it, guaranteed.